Yeah, I know, that's good. Welcome everybody, we're going to get started here. And do you have any slides? This is advanced. If you need,
Okay,
if you want to
if I want to.
Yeah, if you want to just click.
So
you
the
can.
right one's forward.
Yep, right one's forward, right. Yep.
Good. I might want to look at that. That's kind of nice to see, see what's coming up.
All right. Okay, welcome everybody. We're excited to welcome you to our first ever LeTourneau University Alumni Airline Seminar. And I see a lot of you have been already networking, so that's perfect. And I see we have some alumni who are here who aren't presenting, which is also really good. So thanks guys for coming out. I want to introduce Steve Erickson to you. So he's going to come up. He's kind of the brainchild behind the whole thing. So we'll have Steve talk to us, and then we'll get started, because I think you're the first session? No.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I'm actually going to intro the first act. So.
Okay. All
right. Well, thanks for getting up on a Saturday morning. I'm sure you guys had other things you wanted to do, maybe like sleep in. But hopefully the time today with us will be beneficial for you. Believe it or not, all of us were students, same age as you at one point, and we all look at each other and go, how do we become old men so quickly, and time passes so fast. But we had a lot of questions about the careers we were pursuing when we were here and things we didn't know, and now we have that perspective of time, and we just wanted to share that back with you guys right now. We want to make that connection and get you to think about some things as you start out in your careers that may help your path. So anyway, so student pilots, right? What you actually end up doing at the end. I mean, what is it? What's a 4-year degree here? Is it about, what do you expect a student spends? $200,000 probably at least, right? For a 4-year degree in flight. And so what are you guys really buying? Do you really know? How many of you guys, let's see, you guys are students here. How many want to be an airline pilot? Okay. How many of you want to be a corporate pilot? Okay. How about missionary pilot? Any missionary pilots? Yeah? You're still thinking about it, right? Yep. How about military? Military? Right, okay. So all of you, we've got guys here that were in the military and now they're airline pilots. And I've flown with guys that were missionary pilots and corporate pilots and now they're airline pilots. So the point being is you don't know where your career path may take you one day. So even if I'm not discouraging you from pursuing those other paths, but you should be aware of why some of us ended up at airlines and not some other places too. So we're going to talk about that today. So what are you buying for your money? These are some statistics from Boeing. Boeing and Airbus both do studies on a regular basis on projected pilot needs, technician needs around the world. And of course that's part of their marketing and production numbers. They have to look at by region. If you notice in Asia Pacific has one of the biggest growth areas. And if you've checked it all, there's a lot of jobs in China and in India and in that part of the world. And China has this emerging middle class. The first thing I heard this guy doing a presentation, he said the first thing they want to do is travel when they get a little bit of money. So it's really in its initial stages, and their pilot training is not where it is in the U.S. So there's a lot of expat pilots that have gone over to Asia to find jobs there too. But even in North America, there's growth, and then there's also retirements. So this is a chart that shows retirements at U.S. airlines. Just a little history of the airline industry. 1978 was deregulation, and deregulation opened up a lot of hiring. So the guys that were hired post-deregulation in the early 80s, a lot of those guys now, in through the 80s, are retiring. And so there was large classes of pilots that were hired while all those people are kind of retiring in big droves. So you see the peak years are still, you're kind of at the front end of it. You guys are really hitting the wave. I always talk about getting a job, it's like surfing. You got to be ready when the wave's up, and then you got to paddle like crazy. So timing is everything, and you guys are really hitting the career at an optimum time. It hasn't been this way, I'm thinking our entire careers, since deregulation really. So really good time to be coming out with a flight degree in that. So today it's gonna be a little bit of a fire hose, and we're gonna see how this works in schedules. So all the guys that are here today are working for these different airlines, and I've asked them to share their career path a little bit. And the whole point is that, some of you go, how do I get from college to, an airline? And some of our paths are not all available right now, but the whole idea is to give you the sense that there are many paths to get where you ultimately want to go. And most people don't generally go from college to a major airline, although that may happen at some point in the future. We don't know about that. But I just wanted you to think about that, because that's going to be your next step after leaving school. How did we get there? How did we get where we are? So this is kind of our list for the day. Nate Rosehart's with Delta. He's a 737 pilot. He's going to talk about, after sharing some of his career path, a day in the life of a pilot. Tim Ostegard is from United, and he works in the train department at United in the Airbus program. Howard Eliason just retired from American. He's on his 7th career. and Howard is mine and Nate's AME. So awesome to go to a pilot that can do your medicals, and he understands the career and all that stuff. So he's going to share some things related to that. Mike Bresnahan is with Alaska, formerly Virgin, and he's going to talk about some of the alternate career paths. Mike's done some interesting things in his career. Not all pilot jobs are flying jobs, and there's other paths you can take as an airline pilot, and Tim might share some of that too. Jerry Traphagen is with Alaska. He's a 737 captain with them. Jerry and I were sharing stories this morning about us flying together, which we won't share here today. Paul Grennan is a Southwest pilot flying 737 also, and he's been active in HIMSS. I'll let him explain HIMSS and employee assistance, and he's got a great background too. Again, there's other things you can do. Being an airline pilot allows you to have other ways you can participate in a career in the industry, and Paul's going to share a little bit about that too. And then if there's any time left and we're not burned out, I'm going to talk about pay and benefits, because
Maybe you go first, 'cause that's
well, we got to save something at the end, so we can talk about expectations and this is major airline stuff, but where the pay and benefits are today in the industry, and why some people do this instead of a lot of other jobs they could do. So anyway, that's what we're doing for today. So Nate, want to come up, and I'll let you find your presentation if you can.
How did you make it do this presentation? Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right.